Hi everyone, I'm Sam from Golf Saved My Life, and this is 9 Holes, 9 Questions. On this show, we treat 9 questions like 9 holes and use them to walk through someone's story in golf, where they came from, where their game is now, and how the sport fits into their life and mental health. We split the round into 3 parts: holes 1 through 3, where we focus on your golfing origins; holes 4 through 6, where's your game right now and the grind we're all working on; holes 7 through 9, we focus on mindset, pressures, and life off of the course. If you love honest conversations about golf, blow-up holes, breakthroughs, and the way this game for both tests you and save you, you're in the right place. Let's head off to the first tee. This is 9 Holes, 9 Questions. Welcome back to episode 7 of 9 Holes, 9 Questions. And this week we're joined by Stacie, or as you may well know, Staceroo plays golf. How are you doing, Stacie?
Yeah, good, thanks. How's it going?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, starting to enjoy the slightly drier weather. So fingers crossed that sticks around for a little bit longer.
Absolutely. I've just come in from a walk, so I've got a cup of tea on the go. Hope that's okay.
That's absolutely fine. If you'd be so kind as just explain a bit of your background, why you got into golf, and what sort of stuff you're doing online.
Yeah, sure. So I'm currently found myself kind of golfing and doing golf content full time. Wasn't ever really the plan. It's happened accidentally. I started playing work through golf, got given an opportunity to go out and play some golf in the US through work, and absolutely got hooked straight away. Came home, got some lessons, got started. I feel like I woke up one day and Instagram realized that I liked golf, and suddenly my whole Instagram feed was taken over with golf. Started posting a few clips of my own game and as I was learning, and it's just kind of rolled on from there. I've been able to do some amazing things as a result. I've met some wonderful people. I've managed to play at some incredible golf courses, all just through posting what I do online. So, yeah, it kind of happened by accident, but I'm very happy that it happened.
Yeah, great. Must be loving going full time into or spending as much time as possible filming and putting stuff out there.
Yeah, and for me, it's not sustainable, and it's never going to be a long-term plan. That's not what I'm planning to do, but I'm enjoying it whilst I can,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
making the most of it.
yeah, exactly. Enjoy it while it lasts. I think that's the important thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. If we move into the questions, so obviously you explained a bit there about your first getting involved in golf, but was that your first drift into golf, or do you have any early memories of golf at all?
Yeah, so I never played golf as a kid. I'm not one of these people who kind of grew up around golf at all. Nobody in my family golfed. I didn't have a dad or a granddad or anyone who played golf. I think the closest I got to golf in the 90s was probably playing the PGA game on the old
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
And like, I just think back and I think like guys like names like Colin Montgomery and Nick Faldo, like I knew of them as kids, but probably from playing the game, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Fast forward to, I think I was about 38. I was working as vice president of an aerospace company, part of a big US group, and I got asked by, I think it was our then COO, whether I would play golf in Las Vegas as part of our next
Oh,
trip.
wow.
Um, there's only one answer to that question,
Yeah.
right? So I said yes. I gave fair warning. I'd never stepped foot on a golf course in my life. So I think I had 2 lessons before I went out.
Yeah.
Went out and played, and we played a scramble format. We had the whole course to ourselves. I think I was one of maybe 5 women and probably over 100 men playing on this day. But I was put with a great team of guys. We went out, we played, we had a good time. There was one moment that stuck in my mind, and I think I've got a video of this on my Instagram grid as well. We were at the Bally High in Las Vegas. It was a par 3 island green heading back in towards the clubhouse, and I hit my tee shot. I don't remember what club I hit. It was probably my driver. If I look back, the swing was awful, but somehow I cleared the water and I landed it on the green, and I throw a big
Oh, wow.
fist pump in the air and I shout some obscenity, and then you can hear everyone in the video cheering behind me. And I think that was the moment. That was when I was like, right, this needs to be a thing that happens.
Yeah, yeah. Was it a bit bring you back down to earth when you came home, and then it's pay and play and stuff like that, or
Well,
because it's not
it was actually quite a while until I actually ended up playing again.
okay.
And because life and work and
Yeah,
stuff, although I wanted to do it, actually getting started, knowing where to start was not as easy as you'd think. But my this sounds really this sounds really bad. My second ever round of golf, bearing in mind I started in Vegas, my second round of golf was the TPC Scottsdale
oh, gee.
in Arizona. So that was another work trip where I was able to go out and play. And now that time I'd had a couple more lessons before I went.
Yeah,
I felt much more prepared. We went out and played. I think I played 3 rounds of golf that week. So we played at the TPC 2 days, and then we played at the Keeland Resort where we were staying on the last day. And that was the first time I actually played my own ball and
yeah,
played like full 18 holes with my own ball. And I remember there was a moment, I think it was actually the first tee where I'd sort of shanked it off to the right into the like dry, rough kind of stuff on the side, hit another ball, did the same. And then I was like, oh, I'm just going to pick my ball up and walk this hole. And one of the guys I was playing with, he said to me, he said, no, get up there and go and hit your ball.
yeah,
And I was so glad to him for doing that because it really kind of made me feel like I belonged there. And,
yeah.
everyone has bad days. And the fact that he just got me carrying on and getting through that first awkward moment really kind of helped and really set me off. And yeah, I think I shot like 136 or something on that round,
To
which
be
actually
fair,
looking back wasn't bad
yeah.
because I definitely played worse rounds than that afterwards.
On a course of those standards as well, in
Yeah.
your early ventures out onto a course, that's there's decent level play, and lower handicap players wouldn't break 100 around most of those
Yeah. Yeah.
courses
True.
in reality. So these scores, that's pretty high standards to start your golfing journey with. To be fair,
Yeah,
Stacey.
maybe. Um, but yes, and then after that trip, came back, I got golf clubs for Christmas. We moved to Surrey, and I joined the Ladies Academy at Camberley Heath.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I guess I was still kind of hitting it up quite nicely there with the nice clubs. And then it was probably about a year on from that I joined Fox Hills and became a proper golf member and started playing regularly.
yeah, fantastic. Okay, that moves us nicely into hole two, so the handicap story.
Yeah.
So where's your handicap at the moment? What do you feel like is good golf for you at the moment?
So I'm currently playing off 25 and I'm in
Okay,
and around that breaking 100 mark. So I've done it once. I broke
yeah.
100 at the back end of last year at Royal Cinque Ports. I shot 98.
Oh wow,
I
lovely,
had a phenomenal round of golf. I did that with 98 with 2 blobs on my card as well. So the
fantastic.
rest of the golf that day was incredible. Um, I've only done it the once, but I think it's come in. It's in there. I've hit 100 so many times. I've shot 100 so many times now. I'm yet to do it at my club, so really, really want to break 100 at my club soon. That would be nice. But yeah, handicap wise, I took 11 shots off last year. Um,
That's great.
Quite a lot of effort went into lessons, training in the gym, upgrading my equipment, all of that stuff. So I started the year at 36, got down to 25, 26 was my target actually. So I achieved that. And I'm targeting another 10 shots this year. So hoping to get down to 15 and be hopefully regularly playing bogey golf is kind of my goal for this summer.
Fantastic. And is it what do you think is the next step for you? Is it just consistency and just breaking out those weak points, or
Yeah,
do you think there's something that needs to take a big step?
it's definitely consistency off the tee, so it's really gonna be structured range grinding this year. I know everyone says to me, "Oh, it's all about the short game, sort the short game out," but I think if they see the amount of time I spend in the trees, the amount of 3 off the tees that I'm hitting, that's hurting my game a lot.
Yeah,
And I am getting into the data and I am looking at how I'm scoring on the rounds. And, yesterday I went out and played 9 holes, started off really well, started off with a double, and then I think 3 bogeys, which for me, bogey golf is what I'm looking for. I'm
yeah,
starting to
yeah.
feel like, okay, this is a round where I could get there. And then on like the fifth or sixth hole, I think it was, I took a 3 off the tee and then I duffed my fifth shot and all of a sudden I've got a 9 on my card and it's ruined, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um, So really consistency off the tee is going to be key for me. Um, Back now this spring, spending a lot more time at the range, and just working on those drills that I've got from my coach, looking at the data, um, and yeah, just getting consistent. And I think it's just going to come with hours and balls.
Yeah, yeah. Just like I say, now the spring's here, getting back on the grind and actually figuring out what parts of your swing that you need to work on. I think that's a key part of the year, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid of grinding through the winter, and I started golf in the winter. My first
Mm.
year at Fox Hills, I joined in November, and it's a really muddy course, and I was out there,
Yeah.
grinding by myself through the winter, so I'm not afraid of that. But towards the back end of last year, we got a puppy, um,
Yes. Yeah.
and it just meant I was home a lot more than I would have been otherwise. She's not allowed at the club, so spent a lot of time at home, didn't really get any kind of level of practice through the winter. So
Mm.
she's a little bit older now and she can, do a few hours at home by herself. So we're getting back
Yeah.
up there regularly, hopefully every day and doing something every day.
Oh, that's good. Bit more consistency would be great.
Yeah.
So hole three, we've touched on this briefly, but it's sort of your key moment in your journey into moving into golf. But was there a particular, coach or particular round where you thought, this is something that, I want to look at golf completely differently now?
Um yeah, so there was definitely a moment with my first coach at Camberley Heath. There was a moment where he said to me something along the lines of, "You don't realize how good you are." So this was probably about, I don't know, 6 months into my lessons or something, so maybe my first summer, and I seem to remember what he actually did is he took me out because, don't forget, I've not grown up around golf. I don't see
Yeah.
golf. I'd never seen women play golf
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all. I'd started to pick up the bug for it, so I'd started watching. I think I'd watched the Players and the Masters on TV for the first time that year, and I'd obviously seen the guys at work playing. But he took me out onto the course, Camberley Heath, and just had me sit on the tee and watch the women teeing off and watch
Mm.
the ladies there that were playing. And some of these women have been playing for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And he just wanted me to see like how I compared to those, and the fact
Yeah.
that me as a beginner was more than capable of going out and doing what those women are doing. And yeah, he said to me, "You don't realize how good you are or how
Mm.
good you can be." And I think it was that point when I was like, okay, I've actually found something here. For the first time, I've found a sport that I'm good at. Because I've tried a few sports in my life, never really been a sporty person. I've never, you hear lots of golfers, "Oh, I used to play hockey, I used to play tennis." That wasn't me. I did nothing. um, so it was that first moment of, okay, I found something good here. And I think from that point, I was going home and I was working on my game every day, even when I
Yeah.
was working, whether it was just kind of practicing my grip in the house or practicing my swing in the office. I was doing something every day, thinking about golf every day.
Yeah. And what a great moment for that coach to actually take you out and make it more relatable. Because, like I say,
Yeah.
you'd see stuff like the Players and stuff on the TV. I don't think there's anywhere near enough women's professional golf publicised, anywhere near as much as the men's is at the
No.
moment. And realistically, it's it's probably the most relatable golf. Like the scoring in the women's golf is absolutely unreal, and the men's game could probably take an awful lot from actually watching a women's professional game because they're anything like 100 yards in, their statistics are
Oh, they're
mind
so hot.
blowing
Yeah,
compared to.
absolutely. And I
But
have
so,
have had the pleasure, obviously, since of going to watch women play. I was at the Evian, saw the Women's Open in
oh yes, yeah.
Porthcawl last year as well.
Hmm.
So, yeah, seeing those women play is incredible. But even still, that's not that's not who I should be comparing myself to. So it was the fact that he just took me out just to show me, the
Hmm.
women at the club, at a prestigious club, a nice club, um, and it just made it seem achievable for me, which was
Yeah,
really nice.
makes it more relatable as well
Yeah,
because I think we all. I quite enjoy playing with better golfers because then I can see where I need
yeah,
to improve and take those steps to get better. So when you're out there seeing, like I say, women who have played 10, 15 years and that experience, it just gives you an achievable sort of
yeah.
target to get to. It's great it actually takes time out to show that, and it's more than just this is your swing and move on.
Yeah, no, he was great.
Moving on to hole 4, so bag and a brain. If we had your golf bag in front of us right now, is there a favourite club or a bit of tech that you just can't live without?
Um, yeah, so my bag is a bit of a mixed bag, sort of cobbled together really. I did get fitted probably too early in my golf journey. I got fitted and I probably didn't go to the right place to get fitted. So I ended up with a stock kind of ladies set, a Ping GLE 3 set, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah,
But probably not right for me, where I was with my swing speed and the way I was working on my game and training and getting stronger and getting faster and everything. So I've since taken that bag a couple of times to Precision Golf for updates.
yeah,
So I'm working with Simon there, and it's what's really great is he understands my golf and he understands where my golf's going and what I'm doing, and
hmm,
he's fitting me for like future Stacie for like where I can get to. So we're
yeah,
on a good journey there together with the kit. Um, but it's nothing, it's not like, "Oh, I love my driver," or, nothing that I'm sort of totally obsessed about. I think the one piece of gear that I wouldn't be without now is my shot scope.
yeah,
As I mentioned earlier, I love, like, the data and getting into understanding where I'm losing on the course, where I'm gaining on the course, and, having that kind of post-round analysis, helping me understand at this stage in the game what I need to work on. I think like the 11 shots that I took off last year came off pretty easily
yeah,
just through kind of normal things that I was doing. I think I'm going to have to think a lot more tactical this year to actually try and make those shots disappear, get rid of those blow up holes, understand where I'm taking way more than I should. So yeah, getting out and having the data on course and shot scope's kind of been there for me with that.
yeah. The post round reports are really interesting, aren't
It's
they? Because
incredible.
I had a round last week where I did. So I've used a shot scope watch and the tags on the clubs,
Mm.
uh,
Same.
and to sit there and I thought, okay, well, for once my driving off the tee actually wasn't too bad. But then it gives you like a couple of different analysis points. So like for me, mine was 100 yards in, I'm really struggling with. So in my head now, all I can think of is, well, I know there's a short par 3 sort of pitch and putt not far from me, so I can go up there with a 50-degree and a putter
Yeah.
and just practice that for a couple of weeks. So I think the tech in golf is, I mean, some people don't like it at all. Some people like to be a bit traditional, but I think for the everyday golfer or the weekend golfer, it can just completely change your game and the way you want to practice
Yeah,
or the way you
absolutely. And
should
I'm
practice.
doing the exact same thing as you. So I'm
Yeah,
going out to play on the Manor this afternoon because
yeah,
I am losing so many shots at the moment on the par threes. The
yeah,
under 150 par threes is where I'm losing so much. I'm getting like sevens on par threes. And it's just
yeah,
it's agonizing. And it's going to be target practice, dialing
yeah,
in those 100 yards kind of 100 to 150 kind of distances into the green. Um, and I've got the Manor, which is par three at Fox Hills, which I'll be out on this afternoon. It's going to be perfect practice for me. So I'll be spending a lot of time on that this summer.
yeah, yeah. It's worth it, isn't it? Because that's where you really score your points. Because, like I said earlier, if you take that shot off the tee and you're, off in the bush somewhere in the right, you can still recover that from 100 yards in. But
Yeah,
if you're still duffing it left and right at that point, then that's where the eights and nines and
yeah,
beyond sort of start to creep in, unfortunately.
absolutely.
Fantastic. Right. So on to hole 5. So practice versus real life. So what are you working on at the moment? What does a practice week look like for you, Stacey?
Yeah, so I was thinking about it this morning actually because I've got a kind of clear week ahead of me. It's Monday morning and we're filming this. I've been out taking the dog for a couple of hours walk in the woods, and well, I'm using that time to think about what the week looks like. So the sun has come out this week finally, so we are going to get out on
At
course, which
last.
is going to be nice. But um this afternoon will be a solid structured range session and then getting out on the par three. So I kind of cover all of my game in that aspect. And it's kind of what I try to do is get a little bit of everything every day. Um, but the change going forward is a realization that I had recently. I think if you do the maths, about 75% of the shots that you hit on the course are short game, right?
Yeah.
So it's chipping, putting, pitching, whatever. And I'm not spending anywhere near 75% of my practice time on those.
No.
So
No.
doing the maths, trying to divide my time up a little bit more relative to how I spend the time on the course, I can easily sit there and hit 80 balls on the range and driver. But you think about it, you're actually only hitting your driver, what, 15, maybe
Yeah.
less times when you're actually on the golf course. And I think we can get hung up a little bit on that. So a little bit more thought going into it this year in terms of distribution of time, but still sticking with that idea of trying to do a little bit of everything every day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's kind of what most people do, and some people might have, right, I'm going to have a day of putting and I'm going to have a day of chipping, but for me, I just want to keep it all fresh, and I don't want to get to the point where I spend so much time focusing on my putting that suddenly I've forgotten how to hit my driver, or vice versa.
Yeah. How do you structure a range session at the moment then? Is it, like you say, is it you get up and it is driver, continually, or are you
No, no.
breaking up balls and working on swing bits and pieces, or do you split it between short game area and or you mostly range based?
Typically work up through my bag. So I'll start on the driving range with a bit of a stretch and a warm up, unless I've been to the gym beforehand, and a bit of a stretch and a warm up, and then start with some wedges, some little chipping with the wedges, and just work up through my bag, irons, hybrid, woods, and then to driver. Um, it goes wrong easily though, so I might pick up my 7 iron and it's just not playing ball. And whereas I'm intending to initially hit, half a dozen balls with my 7 iron, suddenly I get stuck into a rut because it's not doing what it should. And then
Yeah.
I'm got the alignment sticks out and I've got the drills going, and I kind of you know, find myself focused down there. So maybe I need to be more disciplined with that. I don't know, but I do. Yeah, I try and work up through the bag, and especially if I'm going out on course. If I'm going out on course, I do try to be quite strict and quite rigid with myself, and I'll take only 40 balls.
Yeah.
5 wedge shots, maybe dozen shots with my irons, a little bit my woods, and then maybe 5 or 6 driver shots. I try not to do too much more than that because I don't want to wear myself out before
No.
going out
No.
to play.
And do you prefer to get your practice on course opposed to getting on a range, or do you find once you get onto course, you're very much there for the scoring purposes?
No, I think where I am at the moment, unless I'm playing in a match or something, I see every time I'm on course as practice at the moment. I see it as
Yeah.
constant learning. I don't fret too much about the score when I'm out playing just casually. A lot of people I know, they get a bit panicky if they've started a scorecard. They're like, "Oh, I've got a card in my hand," and I've kind of got over that by just always putting a card in if
Yeah.
unless I'm doing something silly like playing 2 balls, or
Yeah.
doing something unusual. As long as I'm playing properly, I'll put a card in, and then it takes away that kind of pressure when you do put one in. But
Yeah.
I see it all as practice for me.
Yeah, you do get people who cherry pick. They'll have a bad couple of holes and then they'll say, "Oh, I'm not going to put that in today." But it sort of gives you a bit of an unrealistic target of
Yeah,
whatever handicap that spits out.
and that's why you're meant to start your card before your round, right? As well.
Yeah,
Admittedly, I might sometimes see how the first tee shot goes,
yeah.
but
Halfway down the fairway, just turn
yeah.
it off. There's no point looking at it. Fantastic. Okay, so moving on to hole 6, so blow up holes. So is there a particular hole or round, or what's your story on that side of things?
I mean, I think I touched on it earlier. I'm happy if I go out and have a round where I don't have a blow up hole, and I think that's
Yeah.
what's killing my scores at the moment. Is you know, I think last week I played my first round. I played 18 holes where I didn't have anything higher than a 7 on my scorecard, and that was a first
Okay,
for
great.
me.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I've ever done that. It took me a long, long time to not get any nines, so it was nice to go through and not have any eights this week. Um, but I mean, the one round that does come to mind is when I played at Farley. So Farley is a
Yeah.
sister club of Fox Hills, so I get to play there as part of my membership. It's 3 loops of 9. So
Mhm.
I went out with Brian, who's a good friend of mine. We play together a lot. He's a scratch golfer. He's very good, and he helps me a lot when we play. Um, I went out and played. It was last summer, and I think I'd been working so hard on my golf. I'd been training so much, and everything was coming together. The range stuff was all good, the putting green was all good. It was really starting to feel like my game was about to step up, and I was really, it was all coming together, and it was all about to get really good. We went out and I played the first nine at Farley, and it was just awful.
Oh, no.
Couldn't get off the tee. Was duffing shots along the fairway, and the course was in good conditions, so it wasn't any, like, it was all just me.
Yeah.
And basically came in off that nine, and walking down that last fairway, I was in tears, and
No.
I was like, looking back afterwards, I was so embarrassed at the fact that I'd cried, but it was like that frustration cry, when you get so frustrated, that's the only way to let it out. And it
Yeah.
wasn't because I'd had a bad round, it was because I'd been working so hard and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted on the course. And I was just like, when is it going to come?
Hmm.
What more can I do? I can't do anything more than I was currently doing. And Ryan was like, "Look, should we call it a day here? Should we go in the clubhouse? Should we go and have a coffee and go back out later?" And I took a deep breath and I was like, "No, I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to let this kind of stop me. I'm not going to be that person who cries off after nine as it's not going my way." So we deep breath, went back out on the second nine, and I played the best golf I'd ever played to that
Yeah.
point in my life. So it was completely like, talk about game of two halves. It
Yeah.
was incredible.
It's good you're able to give yourself that little reset though, and persist with it. Because, like I say, like most people would have just walked off and said, I'm calling it a day. There's no
Yeah.
point because it's going to carry on the same way.
Yeah, I think actually, like, the way that course is set up as well, that it is like the three nines, it was like a physical break in
Yeah.
between as well. If I was playing 18, one course, it just would have felt like more of the same. And I think there's a good lesson learnt there about those physical resets. And like, you can do that at any point in your game, right? There are things you can do to take a moment to go, right, stop, reset, put your bag down, take your jumper off, change something, put a fresh glove on, do something that says, right, moving forward now.
Yeah.
So whether you do that every hole or every four holes, just some way of going, right, pause for a minute. What's done is done. All I can control is what happens from here on in. It's quite a useful little tool.
Yeah, it's a great mindset to have as well
Mhm.
because being able to give yourself that physical reset. It's just you're starting fresh, aren't you? Like I said, you then go on to have the you know best nine ever. So
Yeah.
yeah, fantastic. Okay, so life off the course. So Stacie away from golf. So how does life look for you right now? With work or family or other hobbies? Who's Stacie behind a golfer?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting right now because obviously I'm not working.
No,
So my husband and I are both on a career break. We've got two daughters. We've got an 11 and a 14-year-old, and we've got a puppy. Um,
that sounds busy, Stacie.
yeah, yeah, it is. But so if you rewind a couple of years ago, kind of when I started playing golf, and I was working as vice president of an aerospace company, had quite a big global footprint. So I had responsibility as far afield as Mexico and Singapore, France, UK, US. So there's a lot of travel involved.
Yeah.
I was away from home quite a lot. My husband was doing all the heavy lifting at home with the kids and everything,
Mm.
school run and all that kind of stuff that was going on. And we started talking about how do we how do we get through this? How do we sort this out? Because it's not working at the moment. It's too difficult for me being away constantly and him doing everything at home and working full time as well. So we talked about him potentially taking some time off work. As it was, some things fell into place. We sold a house that we used to have when we lived down in Wales, and we kind of did the maths and kind of worked out that we were in a position where we could actually both take some time off.
Yeah.
Um, and so we did it. I mean, it means we're probably going to end up working a lot later in the long run, and our pensions might not quite be what they were, and we might be
Yeah.
paying our mortgage off for a few years longer than we planned. But the way we look at it is life's for living, and we don't know what the future holds. We might not live to see our retirement. We might never live to pay off our mortgage, and um, the most important thing for us right now is our kids and the stuff they're going through in life, because at 11 and
Yeah.
14 teenage girls have got a lot going on these days. It's a very
Yes, yeah.
different world they're growing up into what we did. So the fact that we can be home with them, spend more time with them, spend more time together. My
Mm.
husband's now taken up golf as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so it's lovely. And we have our other hobbies as well. I do a bit of sewing. He likes to run. Um and we do like to travel, especially where golf's concerned. We've been around a bit this year. We went to watch the Ryder Cup and a few other
Yeah,
bits and pieces. So we're just having a good time. We're enjoying life, and I'm not actively job hunting, but if the right opportunity was to come along, I feel like I've had enough of a break that I'd be ready to go back into work now, albeit that
yeah.
might look a little bit different to what it did before.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's been a welcome break. It's been good for the golf game, and gonna enjoy the next few months at least of not working.
Yeah, no, enjoy it where you can as well. Because I think what a fantastic opportunity, especially like I say, you're the age that your two girls are at as
Yeah,
well. Like if I think back to when I was that age, all I think of is my parents were, well, I'd see my dad at the weekends,
yeah,
and that would be it. So they're going to have these memories of you both being around for like I say, pretty key moments in their growing up as
yeah,
well.
absolutely. And my 11-year
So
old's golfing too, so that's good. We
oh,
went
that's
out
wonderful.
yesterday, and we had such a lovely afternoon playing out yesterday together. It's really nice. She's such good company for an 11-year-old. She's got great chat, and she's such good company on the golf course. It's brilliant.
Is she enjoying her golf, or is it
Yeah.
very much I'm being tagged along because mum likes
No,
golf?
no, she absolutely loves it, and she's asking to get out more. She was asking yesterday about having an on-course lesson.
Oh, nice.
She's really enjoying it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Are you seeing that now? Like, obviously, you've been through a bit of a career break and taken the time off. Do you feel that you needed that sort of mental reset or that time away from work just to be able to appreciate everything? Or
I wouldn't say I needed it. It wasn't like I was in crisis mode or anything.
no, no,
It was just the opportunity presented itself, and it seemed too good an opportunity to miss.
yeah,
Um, I think on the whole, it's been good for me.
hmm,
I've taken some time to look after my physical health a little bit more than I had before. Funny thing, we've got a joke about it, but one of the first things we both did was went and got some like medical appointments sorted, dentist, opticians, things that I hadn't had time to do.
yeah.
I did actually have a skin cancer scare just after finishing
Oh,
work
okay,
as well. So I finished work in the January. In the November before, I'd been in Phoenix again, golfing. Something came up on my face. Um, it was starting to worry me, but I
yeah.
was very busy, didn't have time to get a doctor's appointment.
No, no,
When I finished work, I did go to the doctors, had it looked at, and had to go and have some photos taken of it and everything, and went to see a specialist. And I was actually told that it was skin cancer.
oh
So
no,
I was going back to have it removed. And then on the day when I went to have it removed, he had another look at it, and he was like, "Actually, I'm not sure if it is cancerous. I want to just take a biopsy." And I
yeah,
was like, "No, just take it all off because I want it
yeah,
gone."
yeah,
Because, but he encouraged me. He sort of explained how much they'd have to take away, to
yeah.
get it all if it was versus a biopsy. So I let them take the biopsy, and it actually came back. It wasn't skin cancer at all.
Oh, fantastic.
But going through that period at that time, having just stepped away from work, I was like, "What was I doing? Why was I
Yeah,
too busy to go to the doctors? Like, why
mm,
was I prioritizing working for a corporation ahead of my own health, my family, my husband?" And that made me look at things differently.
yeah. With hindsight, it's all those silly little mundane tasks, like you say, checking in with a dentist and
Yeah,
everything else. And we all avoid it for as long as we possibly can, and then wonder why we end up needing to spend God knows how much
yeah,
on fillings and everything else. But
absolutely.
yeah, it is important, and it is difficult when you work for like a global firm and you're traipsing across the globe, having to deal with work and being away from home for so long. When you do get home, you do just want to probably just wind down and relax and
Yeah.
enjoy the time with the kids before
Yeah.
you're off again,
Well, and
rather
obviously
than
I wanted to play golf as well. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
go away all week, come home at the weekend and go and play golf. Like, not going to be
yeah.
popular at home if you keep doing that.
No, exactly that. No. Okay, so moving on to hole eight, Stacey. So when you are going through a bit of a tough patch, whether that's on the course or off the course and in life, how do you tend to deal with those things?
Um, so what I did learn quite early on in my golf life is that actually, as much as it sounds like it would be great, hitting balls at the driving range is not a good way to deal with stress for me. I did this. I remember one night coming home from work, having had a really bad day, and I was like, right, I need to go and hit something. I'm going to go and hit
Yeah,
some balls at the driving range. But obviously, I was stressed, I was tense, I was anxious, I wasn't
yeah,
hitting the ball well, and that just magnified it for me, and it got me even more stressed. So
yeah,
I learnt that lesson early on, but actually getting out on course, having a lovely solo round, walking the fairway by myself, um, that is absolute pure therapy for me.
yeah,
Just getting out there, not thinking about anything, not looking at my phone for a couple of hours, just getting out, walking, breathing in the fresh air helps if the sun's shining, of course. But
yeah,
yeah, for me, it's that calmness. It's almost like a meditation, mindfulness kind of exercise. Just getting out and just forgetting about it all for a few hours.
yeah, yeah. It's a welcome distraction, isn't it, from
Absolutely,
what's going on in the real world
yeah.
sometimes. That's wonderful. Right, so moving on to the final hole, so hole nine. If we fast forward a few years, whether it's golf or real life, how does that picture look for you if we skip forward 3 to 5 years?
Okay, so kind of golf wise, I think I've got it in me to get down to single figures. Dare I say maybe even scratch one day.
Well,
Um
dropping 10 shots a year, Stacey, it's not going to take you that long.
I think
I
each next 10 are gonna get harder to shake off, but we'll
think so,
see.
yeah.
There are some sort of things I'd like to achieve. I'd like to get my name on the wall in the club, club champs or something. I'd also love to be club champion, club captain at some point as well.
Yeah,
That would be really great. But I think more importantly than any of that, like I do want to create a little bit of a legacy. I want to change the world that we're in everything that I do. It's kind of just the way I am. But for me, women in golf, it's such a changing landscape at the moment. It's such an incredible thing. I've already done a lot at my club around bringing women golfers together. When I first joined my club, I found myself traipsing the fairways by myself, slinging my bag on my back through the winter and getting out and playing golf by myself. Took a lot of confidence for me to step up and actually reach out and ask somebody to take me out to get my handicap when I first
yeah,
started because I didn't know anyone.
yeah,
Um, there was not really a group of women that I could see myself getting involved with. There was obviously existing groups of women that played golf together and that did the comps and but because I wasn't at that level of playing golf, I didn't feel like I could join in with those women.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
get that.
so what I've done now at Fox Hills is I've created an environment where everyone is welcome of any ability. We have an amazing group of women that get together on a Thursday evening. At the minute, we're just hitting balls at the range, but in the summer, we go out and play 9 holes on the course and then head
Oh,
into the
fantastic.
clubhouse for a glass of wine afterwards.
Yeah,
So, aptly named Nine and Wine. And then there's another group that's come and spun off from that now meet somebody else in the club organises on a Sunday afternoon, and I've joined that group as well. Very similar vibe. It's that relaxed kind of anybody welcome, any ability. We all get together. And what's great now is we've got a female pro at the club. She's
oh, fantastic.
wonderful. Any new women that join, she sends them in our direction because she knows that they're going to be welcome and they're going to feel integrated and part of the club. And that's been an incredible change for me. I never need play by myself again. I've always got somebody to go out and play with if I want it.
Yeah,
As much as I like, the odd solo round, I've always got somebody on hand now to play with, which is such a change from where we were 2 years ago. So I'd like to continue building on that. Um, I have some ideas about taking some of what I've done at Fox Hills a little bit wider and maybe reaching into some other clubs and helping them with their women's integration.
yeah,
I've got some plans for some events that might unfold over the next year or two as well. So yeah, I just really want to keep getting more women into the game and making them feel welcome.
Yeah, it's such a fantastic idea, isn't it? Because, like you say, when you first turn up to a club and you don't really know anybody, it can feel a bit daunting just putting your name on a tee sheet, especially if you're relatively beginner to golf as well.
Yeah,
You don't.
because when I
It
when
can
I
be a bit
raised this
intimidating.
when I raised this with the club, like they were shocked that I was out there playing by myself. Like they sort of
Hmm.
said they didn't realize, and they were like, "Well, why didn't you go in the pro shop and ask?" And they would have like introduced you to someone to play with. They would, and like I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know
No.
the pro shop would do that. I didn't
Hmm.
know what a swindle was. I didn't know what a roll up was, and all these things were
Hmm.
taking place, and they were all there, but as a brand new golfer, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what to ask for because I didn't know what I
Yeah.
was missing
Yeah.
out on.
You almost need a crash course for
Yeah,
new golfers when they turn up for the first time.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, love that idea. Okay, fantastic, Stacie. You've been great. Thank you so much for coming on and agreeing to do this.
Thanks for having me.
If you could let everyone know, I'm sure most people know where to find you anyway, but if you could let us know your Instagram handles and where people can find you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm on mostly Instagram, a little bit of TikTok every now and then, but it's Staceroo plays golf. That's Staceroo. Staceroo plays golf.
Lovely. I'll put the tags in the description anyway. But no, just thank you again so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see how the future unfolds on your content as well.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Have a good
Stacie.
day.
Cheers.
Bye.
That was another round of 9 holes, 9 questions. Huge thanks for listening. I hope their story in golf and everything behind it gave you something to think about in your own game and your own life. If you enjoyed this episode, it really helps if you follow the podcast, leave a rating or review, and share it with a golfer who you might feel will get something from it. You can find me over on social media as Golf Saved My Life. Come say hi, tell me your favourite hole from this episode, or let me know who you'd like to hear on the show next time round. I'm Sam. This is 9 holes, 9 questions, and I'll see you on the next tee.